So there's a number of ways of loading your fridge and setting up within the fridge. If you've got space, what I tend to do is just get all my black boxes behind the fridge before I start to load it from the back. We're going to show you an alternative to that in a minute, but effectively this is the way I would load it. And I'll have one side of these small pies, pork pies in the middle if I've got them, and large pies to the other side. So what I tend to do is look at my packing sheet, work out how many pies I've got, then work out how many lines of each I can accommodate and where I accommodate. Effectively I put my large pies in like this, and you notice the vents there, cold air flows through those vents, goes underneath this sheet and it goes through those vents. So what I tend to do is stack the pies like this, then I use my pie card goes there. Alternatively, the pie card could go there, and I do that as well sometimes, but it has a nasty habit of getting into the glass and then falling on the floor. So this is not a bad place to put it. Height is a difficult one, but basically you can't really go much above that, and that's 4 high. Anything above 4 high is not really going to be controlled properly by temperature. So we tend to just keep them below 4, the rest of the boxes behind. So that's the large, that's how I display the large. And the small, to be honest, it's more or less the same. Again, just put your pie card, you can either lean it there or stick it there, and effectively load from the back. Display, if I'm going to cut and display something, I will cut and display it and put it on top of these pies, and then if I'm going to sample and I've got time, I'll cut the samples up on here, and then I'll put my sample tray here, and then I might have various sample trays, and then when I'm ready to feed somebody, I'll either offer them from here or I might put the sample tray on there.
Another way of doing this is if you are at a show, which we often will be with a fridge, sometimes the space at the back is extremely limited. You often get that or that, so not enough room to put the boxes. If that's the case, you can load from the front. Now you've got to be really careful doing this. These are extraordinarily expensive and fragile, so take the front off here. Now the edge, although the edge is metal to metal, you've got to be extremely careful. So I've taken one side down. Now, when you load from the front, because you've got your boxes behind you, if you're lucky, they're on wheels. Very often you have to carry them in, and then you can start loading from the front. Now, you can either do a straight stack, so that it goes in that sort of sequence, or keeping that vent clear. Come back slightly so that they're like that. And so again, what you're getting there is a bit of elevation, so it's coming up and it's echoing the curve of the glass. It just means the airflow can go across the top. A pie card in now can either be like that or drop it right down to the bottom. So if you do that, I'd recommend putting the glass on first. So quite often I'll put it on top like that. So once that's loaded, glass on, and carefully make sure it's clicked in, and then for the small, it's just the same. But then again, carefully, and if you see anybody walking near that glass, hit them. Now with the small, sometimes it'll be that sort of progression, which pretty much echoes what happens on a table, for example. Other times it might be coming back just a little bit more to now enough room for the air to come over. If you've got a lot of times you want to get in, this will do it quite well. And then I start to come back a bit, or I might just do one like that, and then pie card can go on top, like that. Glass goes on. Carefully, of course. Make sure that into gauges, tip tray on that just to get that stability. So it's another way of doing it. And that way you should end up with empty boxes at the front, which you can then take back to the van, or keep a few behind, so sometimes with some ice foot by now, collect later, or also give yourself a bit of a work surface.